Hey guys, welcome to the channel. In this video, we're going to be looking at pricing specifically from the perspective of product management. What we'll primarily look at is how do you specifically looking at how you charge or how you price your product. Now, pricing is a critical aspect of product management and can have a significant impact on the success of your product. However, this topic is usually a little complicated for the new product managers and even for some experienced product managers, given the high level of focus they have on the development side of things. So the idea of this video is to talk about aspects that influence the pricing of your product and help you understand what are the things that you should look at before you infer or arrive at the pricing for your product. We'll specifically look at 10 things here. Before I jump into the video, however, if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing to the channel for the best product management content. I'm also very active on both YouTube and Instagram, so if you have any question, you can put it down in the comment section and I can get back to you for sure. That in mind, let's get started. So the first thing that you look at before you price your product is the cost of your product. Now this includes cost of raw materials, labor and other expenses. This is the simplest way and the most basic thing before you price your product. However, pricing your product primarily on cost works only to a certain extent, and if you want to continue to be competitive in the market, there are other things that you should also look at, which we'll talk through the video itself. Second aspect that you look at pricing your product is the value you're offering to the end user. Now this includes both functional and emotional value. When I talk about functional, are you solving a problem that a customer is facing? And when I talk about emotional value, is the customer feeling great after they successfully solve this problem? How this will help you is to justify why you're charging more than the cost of the product, while you don't necessarily need to justify. But as a founder or a PM, when you're talking to investors, this will help you understand why you're charging a little more premium for your product or charging it differently from your competitors out there. And most of the products today in the market are charged based on value, primarily because the functional problem most of the players are already solving, but what's unsolved today is the emotional problem or the emotional value that's being offered to the end user. Let's move on to the third one, which is the competition. Now, if your product is not offering any emotional or extra value to the end user, what you should primarily do is look at what competitors are charging out there in the market today to at least come in line with the competition, or at least charge more than the competition per se, so that you're not missing out on the competitor determined product market fit. So what I mean by this is the competitor is charging a product as such, is probably done a lot of iterations with respect to the pricing to the end customer and then come to the final conclusion with respect to what to charge to these customers. So especially when you're starting out, you can use the same format. What you can also do here is that if you're confident about the product and you believe that you're offering additional value with the product, you can charge your product less than the competitor to kind of gain that market share. However, this is more of a cash burn scenario because you'll constantly be burning money, especially if you don't change your pricing in the long run. Number 4 is target market. I think this is pretty clear itself, right? So if you're selling in a tier 1 city, you should charge product as such, but if you're selling in a tier 2 city, you should look at their spending capability before you charge that specific product. What a lot of these international players also do is, specifically if they're selling their SaaS products in India, you'll see they charge these products on a lower rate compared to when they're selling these products in developed economies like Europe or North America per se. Number 5 is the pricing strategy. Product managers should also look at the strategy of the overall company before they price the product. So if your company is competing in the premium segment or your company has been launching premium products, then keep in mind that if you launch a mid-range or a budget product, it may not really go with the brand image that your company has created throughout the years. So the product manager has to be very mindful with respect to the pricing strategy of the overall business before they kind of price their product as such. Let's move on to the sixth one, which is the distribution channel. Now, if you work with physical products and if you're selling directly to the customer, you may be able to price your products a little lower because you're directly reaching out to customers, so your distributor margins and retail margins are not going away. However, if you have multiple parties involved in the system where you hand the product to the distributor and the distributor then hands it to the retailer, multiple people in between, then you need to ensure that continue to make a bit of profit with the product per se, and you charge product as such. Number 7 is the brand itself. So if you have existed in the market, or if your brand has existed in your market for some time now, the customers have likely already developed that amount of trust in the brand, and you are in a position to charge a little premium compared to other competitors and not who may be new and don't have that brand value. Number 8 is marketing and promotion. addition, you'll burn cash when it comes to both marketing and promotion side of things. This includes the cost of advertising, sales commission, and other marketing expenses per se. So you need to keep these things in mind as well when you're deciding to price your product as such. This may not necessarily be an important aspect when you're building the product at start, but if you look at the longer run, you'll need these parameters in place if you're looking to sell over the same price on a longer run. Number 9 is customer loyalty. Customers who are highly loyal to the brand, again, I'm going to reiterate, if you have a great customer base, you don't necessarily need to cut down on your price and burn your cash. If the customers already trust your brand, they may be willing to pay more. So keep that in mind when you're charging your product as well. Finally, flexibility. For example, if you charge your product or you price your product as such today, and in the future there's a new competitor that is selling their products for a lower price, you should ensure that you keep a decent margin and you're able to pivot or change your price based on the dynamic nature of the market. And I think these are 10 most important things that you need to keep in mind when you're pricing your product, especially as a product manager. I hope this video was able to add the value that you were looking for. If you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the comment section. If this video was able to help you, consider subscribing to the channel, drop a like on this video, share this across with a friend, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much.